Well, hi. My name's Ernest, Honanie, and we're here at my village called Kikutsmovi with a friend from Scottsdale, Ron. Um, wants to know about a little bit about Hopi and what I do, maybe for a living, and about my folks.
And we're just going to start on Lonnie. I'll tell you, I met Lonnie at the Herd Museum in Phoenix, and Lonnie, I'm sorry, Ernest. We're talking about Lonnie, I got him on my mind. Ernest at the Herd Museum, I think, for the first time. I don't think I met you in Flagstaff. Did I meet you in Flagstaff at the show up there?
I think that was the first time we met in Phoenix.
When they brought the Kachina Carvers down.
Right.
And then I ran into you again when they had the Indian fair.
The market.
Yeah, the Indian market, they call it, at the Herd Museum in downtown Phoenix. So I'll just let Ernest do all the talking now. So.
Well, I guess what I can share with Ron here is that I grew up here in Kikutsmovi. Went to school here and went to high school throughout Tuba City, Washington State, Phoenix Indian School, and then slowly moved my way to Albuquerque, which I went for TVI, Technical Vocational Institute, for masonry. I started to learn masonry, construction, and then as I progressed that, came home. Didn't continue that here. Instead, I found my brothers, Aaron, Jimmy Gale, Honanie Sr., and some of local buddies that did a lot of famous artistic carvings. So I started doing carvings here, and probably in the 1983. Started there, sold my first piece for like $800 to Trading Post in Keams Canyon, and slowly made my name known throughout the world. I guess Mr. McGee, Ron, and Bruce McGee helped me do that. So did a lot of carvings out of driftwood, and
you want to explain to people about the wood for them?
Yeah, we do our carvings traditionally out of conwood root, because it signifies life from the Mother Earth that all these conwood trees bring up, like roots. And then same thing with the Hopi people and other people, they bring up their children, feeding them all these nice like food, and then that's where this vegetation comes from from the ground, so it's like life coming up when you carve into them conwood root.
And isn't the cottonwood supposed to come from the Verde River, a dead root from the Verde River? Now Lonnie and his friends told me that.
Well, I guess you can see it just about anywhere. We used to just pick it up here,
right?
Down in the wash here. You see a conwood tree, you try to dig for the roots, and some people are still doing that just to find a little piece to carve on. So I went down there a few years back, and I seen some holes dug, and they're still trying to do it, but mostly all gone right now. And people from out of state are now bringing the driftwood out, like from back east, Colorado, or still from Camp Verde area, bringing it up.
Yeah, which is the Verde River, folks. Yeah. Everybody knows.
Yeah, so we still carve the conwood root. There's some carvers that use different material to carve it, but it got no grain in it, which we look for in the conwood, because it has like life bloodlines in it when you carve into it and finish the piece.
And I want to tell people that the cottonwood is just almost like balsa wood. It's very lightweight and easily carved on.
Yes, yeah, a little harder, and then some are
a little harder than balsa wood, but
right.
Just to give somebody an idea, if they were in Europe, what the what the feel would be if they picked up a dead cottonwood root. It would be
Yeah,
close.
some people are unfamiliar with it, but like I go to the shows and all the different people that I meet there tell me that they carve as well, but different kinds of material. And I show them a piece of our conwood that I do my work from. So sometimes I just give them a piece and they start carving. Oh, this is real soft. So that's part of what I do my work from.
We're going to talk. I'm going to do a little pan around here. Should give everybody an idea where we're at. Now I believe that I'm panning off to the south, right?
Yeah, southwest.
To the southwest over here. And I don't know if we are on the bottom of Third Mesa, correct?
Yeah.
And just above us, and we'll show you in a minute here, Old Arribe and the famous church on Old Arribe. And of course, people that watch my videos know most of my connections are from Old Arribe, from how I first came up here. And the Hopi started letting me teach me about them. And for damn near 15 years now I've been coming up. So we're going to do a little 360. I always do a 360 in my videos, give people an idea. We'll do our little 360 here.
Yeah, where he's shooting it now is our local village store. The backside of it. That's where everybody from all these villages come to do their shopping if they can make it into the nearest town. And,
You talk about the little general store, right?
yes.
Right. Yeah, and I noticed they even sold feathers and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. It just started happening not too long ago because the new carvers, the young carvers, like to get into the older style of carving, which we used to do out of leather, feathers out of birds.
Oh, okay.
Yarn.
Right.
Yeah, we used to carve them out of that. And when we were kids, a couple of my friends and we decided, I guess just amongst ourselves, we decided to started carving flat dolls and stuff, and we kind of planned it between ourselves. As we says, let's try doing this from the kiva. Maybe somebody will buy it real fast.
You talking about the little flat?
Yeah. So we just go into the kiva, which is right down below the bottom of us here. That's where I got initiated.
Do you want to explain to people what a kiva is, so they can?
That's where all the ceremonies take place during the winter months, and kids at age 10 and up usually get initiated. It's a small underground room with a upper level on it where the people can place chairs there and watch the ceremonies being held down on the lower section. And around there, the bottom, it's got a little stool set out of rocks. And some kivas in the first mesa areas don't have a seating area, so people would have to bring their own chairs or either just squat down on the floor.
And the symbolism for the underground is because the Hopi came from inside the earth, right?
Yeah, and then they say when the Kachinas come, they also come through a hole through the underground area.
Is that called the Supai or something like?
Yeah,
what's the name?
area.
How do you say that name?
Supai Canyon.
Well, no, but the name of the hole you're talking about that they come up through inside the earth.
I'm not familiar with that part, but
that is in books and stuff like that,
yeah.
And like I try to tell people, it depends a lot on which clan you're from and stuff like that. A lot of the stories.
Yeah, I've just got a book that came to me in Santa Fe. I was reading through it and saw a lot of pictures of old folks that were on there. I guess were taken back quite ways back, and a guy gave it to me. He said he wrote the book and he didn't want to publish it, but that was the only book that he ever came up with about Hopi. and older folks that he knew out here, I guess, gave him a little bit of idea what Ron's doing here, is getting a little information on Hopi. So I'm still reading on that.
And that's a lot of what I'm doing. I'm trying to record a lot of Native American stuff. I had read somewhere that, and who knows, but we might be reaching the end of this world. And I believe you believe the Hopi believe we're living in the fourth world, correct?
I think so.
Yes, the fourth world. And we might be winding up the fourth world. And a lot of what I do is trying to record the Native Americans. So if things are gone, well, there'll be recordings of a lot of the traditional dances and stuff like that. Because if anybody watched my videos, I've done Apache, Navajos. I was just at a powwow a couple of weeks ago and did a recording. And then when you do it, they had the powwow. Well, they had Cherokee and everybody else, and so.
Yeah, well, our ceremonies are blocked out from recording.
Yeah, you cannot. That's why you don't see any Hopi ceremonies from me.
Especially the Kachina ceremonies. But a lot of locals like to record the social dances, which are like butterflies, buffaloes.
Oh, so you can record those dances,
yes,
social dances,
yeah,
huh?
But you gotta like maybe know a person here or get a permit from the village community officials.
Right, isn't the butterfly dance the last social dance of the year or something like that? And I only know that from Akima telling me.
Yeah, it brings rain because they believe if the Kachinas start out the dances during March throughout the summer, and it comes to a portion where the social dances begin, they rely on the younger generations because their hearts are purified yet. They got no wrong feelings about life, so I guess
so us whites that would be hadn't got bitter yet.
Yeah, so they kind of fall into their hands to bring in moisture for our crops and animals and whatever's living throughout the earth here.
So Lonnie and I were talking, and we were going to get into. I mean, doggone, I can't get Lonnie off my mind. I hope he's okay. I hope that isn't an omen or something like that. I'll probably drive by through all the arriving and see if he's there when I leave.
Yeah.
Now, a very interesting thing that I found out from Ernest is that his dad was a medicine man, and that's where I'd kind of like to go, and I think the world would like to hear something about the Hopi medicine men. And I believe you said your dad lived to be 102, is that right?
Yeah, I think about that old, and yes, he was a medicine man, and he mostly took care of like pediatric, how you say it, for babies.
The children,
yeah,
the newborns.
Yeah, he used to take care of a lot of young children, and then people started finding out that he was a medicine man, and then they slowly, like, they bring their children up, and if something's wrong with themselves, the mother or the father, they bring themselves to his attention, and then bringing their children. So he done a lot of work with people from here locally and around the surrounding areas. And if somebody's like pregnant and something's wrong with their stomach, they come to see him, and he turned their baby around, make him, I guess, feel where it's supposed to be. And people from like white people found out that he was doing it. I don't know how they found out, but he had visitors all the way from back east, like New York, places like that, and California. They came to see him about his medicine techniques.
I guess his healing powers.
Yeah, his healing powers. And they felt pretty good, wrote back, and they say they felt pretty good and give him a good response on it. So, and then also he don't take payments, like it's just like a native thing, if somebody wants to bring like a blanket or silver, anything like that, groceries like that, that's payment enough for him, I guess, So that's how he did his work. Nothing real expensive.
We're going to end up part 1 here. Keep these in 15-minute segments. And as I like to always say, God bless and enjoy. And we will start part 2 immediately. By the way, thanks, Ernest. And we'll start part 2 now.
Thank you.